So the freehand bar is also where you move and work with labels, but they're not really freehand objects. They're not attached to the freehand layer, which is kind of strange that they're in the same place. But these options on the right side, when you have freehand selected, those are the objects that you have to work with. This toolbar also works for moving labels, but you don't have to be selected on the freehand layer to work with the labels, because you're working with the labels actually that are part of that shape file. If you wanted to add a text box, you would need to use the freehand layer and add your own custom text box.
And notice when he clicks off freehand on a different layer, not that freehand's a layer, but those other tools go away.
Right. Yeah, you have to be on there. So these are pretty straightforward. I think it's kind of cool actually the way that they were developed. So if you have, it's based on selection. So you have one feature selected and you want to move that label. This again tells you how to use it. As soon as you do that, you can start to move these, enter to save, just like everything else. If you have multiples selected and you use the same button, you can move multiples. And if you get to a point where you made a mistake, you can reset. So reset, everything is based off of a selection. So I messed up these, I want to reset those so they're still selected. If you messed up and you want to just reset the whole layer, you would just select layer all and then hit the reset button. So if you want to rotate, still based on selection, this is, you just drag it, it'll tell you.
So rotate it and then move it.
And enter to save. Or you can just hide an individual label. There's one that's
multiple labels.
Or yeah, multiple. This thing's actually really powerful. You can do a lot with it. Hide, move, reset. And there are, let me see here, if I bring this. Oh no, that's for something else. This is a beta tool. It's not really applicable at the moment. So that's all you really have: move, hide, and rotate, reset. This is just a different view. Instead of doing it by hand, you could select a single label like this one for that feature. If you use this, you can adjust the angle here. Most of the using the mouse usually is pretty good.
You could adjust it by coordinate position.
Right. I just reset it to 0. So yeah. I think that one's pretty straightforward. And these though do save to the map file. So if you change these and then save a map file and then change them back to somewhere else and save, or I should say PLD. If you save a PLD with these in one position and then you move them and save another PLD and then you load up the first PLD, the positions from the first one will load back in. So these are saved to the PLD, these locations.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think my, I gotta check on what happened with my PDF that I made. It's apparently not coming in. I don't know if I did there, but I think that they're dangerous enough with it, they can make it work.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the Avenza thing, the way I use it, just pop over there real quick. I a lot of times will hit current, and then I might back it off, say to 3000, which it's at 15 by almost 12. So just make it 3000. It didn't change it too much, but I a lot of times will just hit current and then go down to the nearest 100 or 1000 or whatever.
Right.
Makes my page just slightly bigger.
Yeah, It's pretty quick. It's quick enough to just try a couple different sizes, but really the current is what you see is what you get. Maximum is going to, it's kind of good to see what your map looks like at this scale. That's what base scale means, is it's going to print and it's going to look like what the map would look like at that scale. That's really what you need to know. So if you leave it at maximum and you print it, the labels in most cases are going to look pretty small because it's sending that PDF out at a different scale. It's like a reference scale.
But if you hit current, they're going to look the same way they look on the screen.
Yeah, exactly. And for most THP level, 3,000, 4,000 foot maps, current is all you really need. Or like Glenn said, maybe you just zoom in like 25% or something.